Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at some recent sales for the Clone Wars. And it's not because I don't like the Clone Wars. I love the Clone Wars stuff, especially the animated style figures. A lot of the vehicles are just mouth-watering. The reason I don't cover these very much is because I want to buy, every time I make one of these videos, I want to buy all of them. They're just awesome. If you want to see a lot of really awesome Clone Wars type items in somebody's collection, go check out Mando number 5. That's Keith Guppy. He is a UK-based collector that is a supporter of my channel. He's got his own YouTube channel, Mando number 5. If I remember, I'll put in the video description a link to his channel page. But he's got pretty much everything from the Clone Wars. He said he's only missing a couple of items. And putting this list of items together that's sold recently, it just made me realize that, man, in an alternate universe, I would buy all of this stuff. So I just picked a random smattering of stuff that's sold over the last couple of months. Let's dig in. I only included one comic 2-pack. I really like the Dark Horse comic multi-packs, double packs with 2 figures and a reprint comic inside. I had a bunch of these, and I sold them off just because I was running out of space. But this is one I never had, and it's one of the more expensive ones. This one has a Clone Trooper Lieutenant and a Clone Trooper along with a Dark Horse Comics reprint. This one looked to be in really good shape. It was listed for $400. The best offer accepted on number 10. This is Clone Wars 2-pack number 10. Was $350. So $350 took that one home. And there's some other rare ones as well, like Entertainment Earth exclusives, things like that. But I just wanted to at least show you one that has sold recently. All right, here's a multi-pack that I had never seen before, but this is a 501st Legion AT-RT. So it's got the AT-RT. You know, obviously we know the AT-RT driver from the Vintage Collection. So this has got the AT-RT along with the Clone Trooper, along with a TH-21 tactical droid. So I had never seen that tactical droid before. Some of these multi-packs, there's just so many of them from the Clone Wars era that it's hard to keep track of all of them. That one sold at an auction for $76. Packaging was kind of rough, or not really rough, but it just minor wear and tear to it. Here's another multi-pack. This was a Target exclusive Assault on Ryloth, and this one includes Samuel L. Mace Windu along with a couple of, or 3 Clone Troopers. And shout out again to Blacked Out Ewoks. He sent me a first shot prototype unpainted animated style Mace Windu from the animated style of figures. So I'm thinking about sending that one and the Anakin first shot prototype that he sent me as gifts. Thinking about sending those in along with a Polish bootleg that I just got from Jacob Brzezinski, the author of the book on the Polish bootlegs. So I've got kind of 3 wonky items that take a long time to get graded anyway. Now's as good a time as any to send those awesome prototypes in that he sent me as a gift. So thank you again, BOE, for the awesome items. And shout out to Blacked Out Ewoks, 15 years on YouTube. 15 years. Think about how long that is. He had kind of a bunch of different videos celebrating that. And I just want to say thank you to the Blacked Out Ewoks for being such a good friend. And, you know, he really is honestly one of the people that got me on YouTube originally. I was watching a lot of his videos early on when I was getting sober. So BOE's great dude, and congratulations on 15 years on YouTube. I don't even know how long I've been on YouTube. I have no idea. I think like 5 years, maybe 6, somewhere like that. So anyway, shout out to him. This is Assault on Ryloth Target exclusive battle pack sold. It was listed for $170. Best offer accepted was $155 on that one. Here's another one called The Ambush at Ambrigado. I don't remember that scene from the Clone Wars, but I'm sure it's something very exciting. It's got Plo Koon there, along with, I guess, Captain Rex. It looks like Captain Rex on the left. I don't know. Maybe not. A battle droid, and who's the other one? Let's see. Let's see if it's got the list of characters. So we've got Clone Trooper Sinker, so it's Sinker, and Clone Trooper Boost. So I don't know the Clone Wars very well. I've only watched maybe 15 or 20 episodes, but I love Plo Koon too. That's a cool character. And then a rocket battle droid. So those are the 4 figures included in that Target exclusive battle pack. That one sold at an auction for $83. And now we got some single carded figures. I always like the Riot Control Clone Trooper. I don't know why. Just something about him is pretty cool. I like that shield. I've always seen that one for sale, and I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that one. That one was in pretty decent shape. It looks like, he tried to, a lot of sellers, they put them in these star cases to make you think it's in amazing condition. Never mind the gigantic crease going along the hang tab there. So good try on that. It's still sold for $100. I see them sell for about as high as $120 in near mint condition. So don't fall for these little tricks that some of these people try to do by putting a obviously damaged figure inside of a star case and calling it mint. He did say that, okay, in all fairness to the seller. He did say the figure has severe creasing shown in pictures, protector included. So no offense to the seller, all right? There's a lot of sellers that do this, though, that they try to hide it by putting in a star case. But at least this seller disclosed it, okay? So there you go. But anyway, that Riot Control Clone Trooper is one I've always really liked. I don't know why. It's very cool. And it sold for $100. Again, I found a couple of other data points between 120, like 100 to 125. Evan Peel, I didn't know this one was kind of that expensive. I found some even more expensive than this that sold. But this one sold for $76. I saw a few examples that sold even higher than that, closer to $100, believe it or not. So, I mean, it seems like all the Clone Wars figures in general hold their value pretty well. And that's something that somebody mentioned in a video of mine. I don't remember when. I think we were talking briefly about how modern figures, it's a little bit more of a risky proposition because the population of them in still near mint condition tend to stay near mint because they're fairly modern. But someone had mentioned in the comments, like, take a look at the Clone Wars, man. They're pretty much all still really expensive. And he's right. I mean, they haven't dropped really at all. So here's some others. Here's Clone Commander Colt. That one sold for $100. Clone Commander Cody in the orange there. That's pretty nice looking figure. And it also has that Yoda packaging. That's kind of like the multi-language. I don't know if it's European or Canadian. I always mean to check that. But yeah, Hasbro Canada in the lower left there. So it's got the French language there, I guess. I don't know. In Europe, did they use the Yoda packaging as well with the multi-language on the back? I seem to remember BOE or somebody mentioning that Canada and Europe had the Yoda on the packaging. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Anyway, this one, Clone Commander Cody on the European or Canadian packaging, CW07. This was down in Australia, so maybe it also made its way to the Australian market. It was listed for 150 Australian dollars, and it sold for 120 Australian dollars, which is about 81 US dollars. So that gives you a price point on that one. Here is Clone Commander Jet. This is another one I've always liked. I just like the figure sculpt on that head there. It's pretty cool. That one sold for $115. And then we also had Commander Bly. And he sold for $150. Look at that face sculpt. That really captures the animated style that you see in the Bad Batch too. It just some of the clones. I just feel like that figure sculpt almost looks like I'm watching the Bad Batch. I just finished season 4. Is that right? Season 4 of the Bad Batch. And man, I just love that show so much. It's so good. I need to go back and watch the Clone Wars while I'm waiting on season 5. But anyway, that one sold for $150. Commander Bly. Next up, we've got one of the obviously keys for the Clone Wars, CW44. I've almost bought this a few times. I've come close a couple of times. But anyway, this one obviously is Ahsoka. There's some other Ahsokas. There's like the Aqua version, and there's one with Rhoda the Hutt. This is just obviously CW44 Ahsoka with just the figure and the double lightsabers and extra hilts. But a classic, a modern classic. That one sold for $150. The other one, of course, that I really like, and everyone else does apparently too because it's so expensive, is the animated style Darth Sidious. Love that figure. I don't know what it is about that figure. I just love it. Maybe just because of his appearance in the Clone Wars and Rebels and Bad Batch. I don't know. I just love that face. Everything about it is just so cool. The animated style figures, in my opinion, are just some of the coolest. And that's why I got those first shots from BOE, and I was like, man, these are just awesome sculpts. I just love the Mace Windu especially. So I know, I think I showed those when he sent them originally, but I need to get those graded. I really do. Anyway, Darth Sidious is another one, CW45. That one sold for $122.50, and then this one was listed for $220, but sold for $150. So $125 to $150 is about the going rate for a near mint condition CW45 Darth Sidious. Oh man, see, this is why I hate making these videos, because every time I see them, I want to buy them. I mean, especially when you start getting into the vehicles. I mean, the vehicle packaging is just so good. This is the V-Wing, and I used to love playing as the V-Wing in Battlefront 2, and this one sold for $220. He still has one more available, Toys R Us exclusive. We have Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter. The photos are sideways, but you get the point. That one sold for $350. And then we start getting into the ones that I really like. I always want that animated style Bosk is so awesome, and I wish it wasn't exclusive to this multi-pack, because I don't have room for this Toys R Us exclusive. I really should just buy the figure and get them loose graded. That would be the ultimate in overkill. But the Rise of Boba Fett Ultimate Battle Pack, it includes Mace Windu's Starfighter, Mace Windu and his Jedi Starfighter, the Slave One, and then all of these other figures that you see in the window there. There's Mace. There's the R8B7, the Anakin Skywalker, the young Boba Fett, and then the animated style Bosk. I mean, good Lord. You could do this as a HasLab, and it would just sell out immediately. I mean, how awesome is that? $270 plus $80 shipping on that. I really need to get that animated Bosk, though. I love it. The Y-Wing Bomber, that's another one I remember from a lot of the shows. That one sold for $134.10. Package converts to diorama. I mean, it's just this era, man. The 2000, what is it, 2005 to 2010? I mean, you never see this kind of stuff at retail anymore. It's all just junk at retail, except for the vintage collection. But look at this, man. That's just an awesome item. 2008 ATTE All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. I mean, look at that. That is just incredible. Oh, and that one sold for $350. Seller had 3 of them. 2 of them have sold. One's still available. The Republic Gunship. This is the Walmart exclusive Republic Gunship. I mean, that is awesome too. That one sold for $320 recently, in case for any of you looking for that. And I did find, this is the other one. This has got the 30th kind of anniversary style packaging for the ARC 170 fighter. That's another one I played with regularly in the Battlefront video game. That's a Target exclusive. That one sold for $160. And then, of course, my favorite, this is absolute, I almost bought this like 4 or 5 times. I mean, this is so awesome. This is the Clone Turbo Tank, and I came to my senses every time because I have nowhere to put it. Nowhere to put it. If I ever win the lottery, I swear I'm going to buy another house in my neighborhood and just use it for Star Wars. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. But this one was listed for $468 and sold for $425. It had a big ding on the packaging in the upper left. Near mint examples have sold recently as high as $500, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that price seems down a little bit. The price seems a little down for some of the vehicles and multi-packs and things like that, but I would argue that the singles have not dropped at all. I mean, I haven't looked at my, I could go back and look at my last Clone Wars update, which was probably a couple months ago, but I feel like these prices are still applicable today. Darth Sidious might have been closer to $200, during the height of the bubble, the collectibles bubble. But, $150-ish, $125 to $150-ish for him, and then $150 for Ahsoka is about what I've always expected it to go for. So those prices really have not dropped at all. But I would say some of the bigger vehicles maybe have dropped just a smidge. Anyway, there's some recent sales for you. All of these have been within the last month to month and a half on eBay for the Clone Wars, some different packaging styles, things like that. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll be back soon.